Welcome to InQueery, the series where we take a mini deep dive into the history of LGBTQ plus vocabulary. So, how much do you really know about the history and the word agender? Find out in this episode of InQueery. Before I tell you more about that, a quick refresher on the basic rules of gender using dessert. Gender is like ice cream. There are many flavors. You can mix and match, or you can decide not to have any if it's not for you. Being agender, which literally translates to without gender, is most often used to mean deciding not to go for the ice cream. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, agender refers to people who don't identify themselves with any particular gender. This can mean being genderless, lacking gender, or having a null gender. However, people also use agender to mean identifying as gender neutral or having an undefinable gender. Like many words we use to describe gender, agender is a relatively new word. Of course, that doesn't mean that the identity is new or that agender people didn't exist before we had the language we do now to identify them. The first documented use of the word agender was actually on the internet. It was born in the year 2000 on an internet forum called Usenet. In a chat room discussion titled Alt-Messianic, a user posted the following: God is amorphic, agender, so image cannot be a physical, gender, or sexual thing. It's true. Many religions consider God to be agender, including the one I grew up in, Islam, Sikhism, and Hinduism. But there are plenty of regular flesh and blood human beings who fit this description too. The next time the word agender was used again, according to our friends, the OED, was in 2005, also on Usenet, but this time the word was clearly used in reference to people, although it was in another discussion about faith. In the Alt Politics Democrats chat, someone wrote that cultures can have transgender, agender, and hypergender individuals. From there, the usage of the word really took off. By 2013, the word agender was used in a New York Times profile of Generation LGBTQIA, in which several gender non-conforming youth were featured discussing their changing understanding of themselves and their genders. They first heard the term agender from Kate, who found it on Tumblr. The two met at freshman orientation in high school. In high school, Kate identified as agender and used the singular pronoun they. They now see their gender as an amorphous blob. Go ahead, Kate. For many young people, the internet was a formative space for discovering new gender language. Today, agender is a recognized and celebrated identity in queer spaces. In March 2017, an Oregon judge granted a 27-year-old game designer from Portland named Patch permission to legally identify as agender. There are plenty of role models in the agender community too. My friend, the rapper Angel Hayes, academics like S.J. Miller, and writers like our very own Tyler Ford are helping agender folks recognize and celebrate themselves, all while working to make the world a better place for agender people everywhere. So look out, world. The agender future is a bright one.